Okay, this is the infamous simulated world. Gonna do this video questionnaire extraordinaire thing, and yeah. So, pick 3 words or short phrases to describe yourself and explain. Probably. Oh, I don't know. The first word that comes to mind is obnoxious. I'm cynical and curious, very curious above all. Why are you interested in typology, finding out your type, or just exploring? Why are you making this video, basically? Oh, because Annabelle kept bugging me about it, I guess. And hopefully I can do a little bit better job of explaining some actual, in-depth personal information, more so than some people. Go through the main activities in your life. What is most important to you? What do you like best? Why do you do each of the things you do? Well, I do 3 things in particular, which are music and poker. I play a lot of online poker, and then typology, where I, write posts and troll people and all that good stuff. I guess I do music because it's a creative outlet where I can kind of do whatever I want to for the most part, and not be constrained by a whole lot of regulations or any kinds of things like that, and kind of it's a fascinating study in patterns. Like I like the structural symmetry of music theory is really interesting to me, and the way that translates into sound, and the way that sound affects affects human perception and has ties to emotional connections and things like that. It's all really fascinating. Plus, just the patterns are just really interesting. So yeah, I play in a couple of bands, and I teach guitar lessons for a living, and really enjoy music a lot. Then as for the poker, I love strategy games. Poker I played casually a long time, didn't do very well, and then in the last few months I decided to start studying, and I've learned a lot, and I'd like to make some serious income on it, but haven't really gotten to that point yet. But it's a lot of fun, and I just really enjoy the psychology, and you can use typology in poker too. I mean, there's a lot of reading patterns of the way people respond to your betting, and things like that. Even online when there's no physical information, it's just a really interesting mental competition. So I really enjoy that a lot. As for and the typology, well, I mean, that's just really fascinating. I mean, just being able to kind of, it started off as just an enjoyment of the patterns and the way that people, arrange their worldviews and so on, and being able to kind of figure out how to deal with people better. And I just thought that was interesting at first, and then it sort of eventually translated into actually being more empathetic and appreciating other people's viewpoints more genuinely. So I feel like it's really helped me grow as a person a whole lot, especially in the last 2 years or so. Education, work background. I'm a college dropout. I went to Georgia State University and studied music for about 3 years, and then I really didn't. I was just bored. Didn't really like what I was studying. Didn't feel like I was getting that much out of the classes, and then I changed my major to marketing, which lasted 1 semester, and then I dropped out entirely. I just really hated being in school with such a forced, structured learning environment and so on. I hated all of that. I guess I take this route. I don't know. I just wanted to focus on things that I was interested in, and I got this job teaching guitar lessons to kids, and it was just I don't really want to do this anymore. And let's see, short-term, long-term goals. Short-term goals are to keep getting better at music and poker, basically. And typology, I'm still into, but I'm kind of over the whole arguing with everyone on the internet to tell them they're wrong about it phase now, because I've gotten to a point with it where I can just sense people's confidence level quickly, and I just don't really care anymore if someone's wrong that much. It's just I may correct them, but I'm just not going to hang around for a lot of long arguments anymore unless I think someone's offering some genuinely new, interesting information that makes me think in a way I haven't thought about it before. And I mean, no offense to you guys, but it doesn't happen that often. There are a few people, Solitary Walker is really good, Zarathustra, and especially Umlau from Typology Central are both pretty good, I feel like. There's various others. Black Cat is really good at Enneagram, especially. But there's just most of the people in these forums in general are just not really that good at typology, and not making very good reads very often. So it can be hard to get good information. But Um, let's see. Friend, partner. I feel like I'm a good friend for the most part. You know, I guess, I go out of my way to help my friends, especially if they want to learn about things that I'm interested in, because that, gives me a chance to talk about my interests at length, which I obviously enjoy doing. Partner, I feel like right now I'm in the only relationship I've ever had that's actually lasted more than like a few months, and this one's been going a year, and I feel like it's doing pretty well. I guess you can ask, well, I won't give you a real name, but you can ask Tesla Shock on Typology Central how good a boyfriend I am, and maybe she'll make fun of me brutally or something. But anyway, my history, gosh, well, I mean, like, I don't have that much history, really. I guess when I was younger, I actually, like, had a really hard time, like, learning to deal with people and interact with others when I was, like, in middle school or so, and I feel like I was probably, I don't know, I mean, like, I seemed like more of an introvert then. I certainly acted more like an introvert. I don't know if I really was, but, so then I kind of learned to defend myself by, like, using my wit and humor to just, like, attack people and just, do whatever to get a response and, like, mock anything I could. And I just went through this long, really obnoxious, stereotypical ENTP teenager phase, basically. And only in the last 3 years I feel like I'm starting to come out of it, even, and, learning to actually care about other people's viewpoints instead of just dismissing all non-TI viewpoints as retarded. And it's pretty hard, but I feel like typology has definitely helped me in a more healthy direction in terms of personal growth. Let's see. Closest friends would describe me as, like, probably funny and clever and giving text messages all the time because I'm a baller. And my friend Juan in ESTP wants to know, would I still be his friend if he had a panda fur coat? I don't know, Juan. We'll have to get back to you on that one, buddy. Anyway, my family would, I think now, would describe me much differently than they would have, like, 2 or 3 years ago. Like, I think they would describe me now as, like, a outgoing, adventurous, maybe kind of, they would, actually, everyone in my immediate family except me is a J, and three of the 4 are TJs, so they'd probably all describe me as short-sighted and irresponsible and unfocused, but clever and talented, which I guess kind of works for the views of both parties, doesn't it? Someone who doesn't like me would definitely call me, stubborn and bullheaded and, self-righteous and too wrapped up in my own opinions, too argumentative, too ready to, like, pounce on people that I think are wrong, etc. All of which is, absolutely true, and that I'm working on improving the more I move on. It's a little less true than it used to be, thankfully, but what do I think people's first impressions of me tend to be like? I think probably, these days, people's first impressions of me tend to be as kind of quiet and unassuming because I sort of deliberately make myself quiet down a bit in new situations. It's like, since I kind of became more aware of the way different functions operate, I realized that everybody is really, like, really savvy in one particular type of attitude, and that, like, I'm constantly making mistakes in terms of that attitude around all these people. So it's like, suddenly, I felt a lot humble. I felt very humbled when I kind of realized this, and I'm just like, oh, I think instead of talking as much, it might be better for me to just sit and listen to people more often. Just listen to what their, what their impressions of things are, because it can be really helpful. Let's see. Yeah, I think online impressions come off as just, like, really obnoxious and, like, full of myself, and that's probably true. But to be fair, I'm also better at this than 99% of you, so suck it. Just kidding, kind of. See, like that little INTJ fake just kidding thing? Anyway, what's a typical day like for me? Mostly these days I just play a lot of poker, and then I, like, practice guitar for a while, work on writing songs, play more poker, watch poker tutorial videos, read books on poker. I'm just really in a big phase with that right now, trying to get good enough at it that I can make substantial income on it, which I think I can do given more time. It's just a discipline issue for me mainly. Yeah. Okay, favorite things about myself, I think I like that I'm, like, really, willing to try new things and, like, just